Today's story is Curious George Plants a Seed. It's springtime now and the plants are growing again and we can get out and plant our flowers. So this is about planting a seed. Jumpy Squirrel was very busy. George was curious. What was Jumpy doing? Bill, the boy next door, told George, Jumpy buries acorns and nuts. He stores them in the ground. He can dig them up later when he's hungry. That gave George a great idea. George buried the orange juice. He buried the butter. He buried bread. He was glad to find a good place to store his food. When the man with the yellow hat came home, the kitchen was empty. He said, "Where's all of the food?" George had taken it out and buried it all. George proudly pointed outside and showed his friend. "George," he said, "orange juice and bread are not for burying. They cannot be stored in the ground. You don't put them in the ground." His friend showed George a peanut with a sprout. George was puzzled. He wasn't sure what that was. "This peanut grew into a plant," the man said. "Seeds and nuts grow out of the ground if they are not eaten first." George thought he understood. If a little peanut could become a big plant, what would a rubber band become? Or what would a feather become? George dug lots of holes in the yard, and then he buried lots of things. I see a chair, an umbrella. Soon the house was empty. The man with the yellow hat was very surprised to come home. "George," he said, "umbrellas and chairs are not for burying," the man with the yellow hat explained to him. "They are made by people. They don't grow. Only seeds and nuts will grow." A few days later, George saw something new in the yard. It was a sprout. "Look, George," said his friend, "a seed that you had buried is growing. I wonder what it's going to be." Soon there was a beautiful sunflower in the yard. George had a green thumb after all.